first and foremost, we'd like to thank you all that joined us on our Halloween event. It was fantastic. I wish I had more time to play, but sadly, my work just decided I can't have fun on Halloween. But I know we had a great time, so shout out to everyone that joined us. Mike, I know you seem like I heard some yelling from your part, so I'm not sure if he pissed his pants or whatever, but it was a good time. Be sure to check our Discord for our next upcoming event because maybe we'll have something for the holidays.
Pants were dry, but the armpits got a little more.
Walmart Wi-Fi engaged.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Top Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rob. Joined with me are my friends Mike.
Yes, chef.
And Lou.
Heyo.
And this week we have a very special guest. Mike, why don't you introduce him for us?
This week's guest is a man who decided we were friends and over the course of a month beat me into submission. First time we ever hung out, he said, "Hey, what are you doing today?" I said, "I'm going to my parents' house to watch football." He said, "Great, I'm in." And actually showed up. He is a sous chef at a Michelin Key restaurant, and he is cringing very hard right now. He once received the title of Beautiful Landmass from a potentially intoxicated, I don't remember, now ex-girlfriend. All of our friends, Cody.
Oh, that's one heck of an intro. Nice to be here, guys. Thank you.
So, did you just see Mike? And you're like, I'm going to be his friend.
Man, it was at Light Church, which, we all know. And it was like in that little tucked away corner by the the snack area. It was like a love story. And I just saw him sitting there and I was just like, "What's up, dude?" And he was like, "What's up?" And I just sat down and we started talking and I was like, "Oh, that guy's kind of cool." And then what he said was true. "Hey, what are you doing? You want to, or I didn't ask you."
You didn't ask me at all. It was just like, "What are you doing later?" And I was like, I was like, I didn't want to be a jerk, but I was like, I'm an introvert. I don't want to hang out with anybody, especially not someone I haven't met before.
Right.
And so I was like, "Oh, I'm going to my parents." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm in." And I was just like, I don't know how to answer that.
If you guys want to know how to make friends, that's how you do
and
it.
Now
right
he
there.
is genuinely one of my best friends, so it's all good. It all worked out.
So this week we wanted to bring in the big guns because we're talking about food. So I just wanted to make sure everyone knows how refined our palate is. And this week's icebreaker is: what discontinued fast food menu item would you bring back? And for me, it's a toss up. It has to be some Taco Bell just because they have so many specialty items that it's easy to have one you really fall in love with and then go away. And I think I'm going to go with the Naked Chicken Chalupa. That came out, I think, 2017, 2018. I wasn't a big Taco Bell guy before college, but man, that got me in the door. And now I'm sad that the closest one's 2 hours away. So, but that's what got me in. So I'm gonna go Naked Chicken. We call it Naked Chicken Choo Choo in college. Don't know why, but we did.
That's the cutest thing I've heard in all day. The naked chicken choo choo.
That sounds like something to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would have to say, so Szechuan sauce came out with McDonald's when Mulan came out. I did not get that one. But then Rick and Morty talked about it so much on their show that they brought it back, and I got to have it with it. And I'm very upset that they got rid of it. But if I had to say food, Little Caesars had little Bosco sticks with like pepperoni and cheese in them, and that was pretty fire. I don't really eat fast food like that anymore.
It's hard to say trim and have fast food.
Yeah.
Just got to know what to order,
Yeah.
How about you, Mike or Lou?
Do you guys remember? It's also a Taco Bell item. We were talking about this earlier. Me and Cody were talking about this earlier. The XXL Chalupa.
I vaguely remember seeing advertisements.
It was like the chalupa shell, but it was in one of those like canoe-shaped giant taco bowls that you can get, and they just packed it with ground beef or ground beef equivalent product and cheese sauce, and like they just loaded it up. It was just like a regular loaded chalupa, but it was humongous. And in high school, it was probably like $7. And so that was like obscenely expensive, but it was just the best thing I'd ever had because I didn't know they had a regular chalupa, and I didn't realize that it was just the shell that I liked.
It'd be like $20 now if it came back.
Yeah, something like that.
How about you, Lou? Is it going to be Taco Bell?
I had a whole list of things because I couldn't pick which one, but I do have a Taco Bell one. The Taco Bell chicken empanada that came out kind of recently, past couple years. Those, for some reason, just really did it for me. I was a big fan. Or the apple pie empanadas.
Ooh. They had an apple pie empanada at Taco Bell.
At Taco Bell, yeah, and that was way back in the day, a little bit. So a couple probably 5-10 years ago.
I also really like the beef nacho. Was it the grillers? Just bring back all those grillers.
Oh yeah, those were good.
$1 too. That's the best part. All right, so this week I want to know what our top 3 meals to make are, and some of us went a little overboard. I'll let that. I'll review. We'll reveal that when it gets to that person. But I'm going to start off. This one, my wife described it as yum. It's a very wholesome and comforting meal, and it is Nefla soup. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. Basically, it's like the closest equivalent to German chicken and dumplings. So you basically cook your potatoes, your garlic and onions all together in butter. Put it in with milk. You boil. We use rotisserie chicken for it, and then we use chicken broth and cook these basically dumplings in there. And we double the dumplings so we get even more of that. And then you just add it all together. It's just very delicious, filling, and a fantastic meal for those cold fall and winter days. And we serve it with a side of French bread, because who doesn't love French bread?
Plus, French and Germany, famously, good friends.
Yeah, famous.
Also, what is French? What is French bread? Like a baguette, or
it's not.
Just like
it's whatever I walk into Walmart or Albertsons and it says French bread. It's not really a baguette. I don't really know what the difference is, but I can taste the difference, but it's not quite a baguette. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just stupid. Let us know in the comments if French bread is just a baguette. I'm just tripping.
What was the stew called again? You're kind of choppy on our end.
Nefla. So that's KNOEPHLA. And it's funny because my wife and I found this. I think I found it on TikTok or something was there. And we made this. Originally, it calls for water, which if you're going to make this, use the chicken broth. It adds so much more flavor. And then I end up getting the job in North Dakota. And we're like, all right, what the heck's in North Dakota? What do people like? And one of the top, most popular food items in North Dakota was Nefla soup. So oh man, we're going to fit right in. And ours is better. I'm going to shoot you straight. I think it's that chicken broth.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you decide to use a flavored ingredient as opposed to water, always
game changer, let me tell you.
Game changer.
I've actually never heard of that soup. Sounds like a peasant dish. And almost every culture and every country has their own type of peasant food.
Peasant food's the best. It is. It's all so good.
That sounds really good.
Fantastic. It is a little bit to make it all, so it's a good 2-person meal, especially if you have the kitchen space for it. But actually, I'm going to plug. Becca and I made one TikTok video together. I'll post it down in the comments, and it's how to make Nefla soup. So just do that instead of me trying to explain it from memory.
Rob, do you have TikTok?
I have TikTok. I don't use it. I try not to doom scroll because I know I will. But
I already do that on Instagram enough.
Yeah.
Why? My girlfriend keeps telling me to get it. I'm like, nope. I already got one. I don't need another one.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cody, what's your number 3?
I actually had a really hard time coming up with these answers. I told my chef buddy who I work with that I was going on the podcast. And he's like, "Oh, that's really cool." And then he's like, "Well, what are you guys going to talk about?" And I was like, "Oh, well." They were like, "What are your top 3 favorite things?" And he went, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's almost like a cult thing in kitchens where if someone finds out that you cook, the first thing they ask is, "Well, what's your favorite thing to cook?" And it is the most competitive question. But for you guys, I definitely thought of some, and I thought of ones that I've actually done in restaurants and actually on the job instead of just kind of at home. I'd say the first one was I'm a really big fan of cooking seafood, fish. Cooking it, cleaning it, the whole 9 yards. I did a dish at Oakland Hills. It's a country club out in West Bloomfield, and it was pan-seared or king, and then I flipped it. I added like a tomato broth and sauce, a bunch of little vegetables, and I served it with a little salad on top. And one of the owners of She Wolf, it's a restaurant downtown, he was there eating, and he said it was probably one of the better salmon dishes that he had ever had, which was a huge compliment at the time. Yeah, I'd say that's definitely one of my favorite meals I've ever cooked in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds crazy good.
Yeah, it sounds. Yeah.
What did you say the fish cut was? You said it was salmon?
It was Ora King. Ora King is like the most expensive salmon you can get. There's probably like, I don't know, there's a lot, but
it's like
Michigan 6.
Is it like the Wagyu of salmon?
Yeah, actually it is. Just with the amount of fat that's in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You rub your finger on top of it.
Oh, it like melts?
It'll melt.
Oh, boy. I'm feeling like
Fish that was never even had to float. It's just salmon that laid on the bottom of the river and just got fat.
I don't know if you want to bottom feeder. I mean, I guess people like catfish. But.
Not catfish, Dover, sole, halibut. They're all bottom. They're all flatfish. They all feed off the bottom, and some in French they're considered delicacies.
You probably get this question a lot, especially as a chef, but what seafood would you recommend for someone that doesn't like seafood? Because I'm not a fan of fish. I don't know if there's like, if you try this, you'll
like look, man, I get it. You don't have to keep reminding me.
So when you get fish, when you get salmon, when you get these, there's usually a bloodline that's actually in the meat. And if it's not taken off properly, fish can taste more fishy. So salmon, like if you look at the bottom, there's like this kind of gray underbelly. That's bloodline. If you take it off, it's right, but it gives it that less gamey, less fishy.
Okay.
Now, if you're looking for a fish that's not fishy, halibut.
Okay.
I've never had halibut.
I would say halibut. It's a little more expensive, and it's a flatfish. Again, it's about feeder. But it's sweet, it's flaky, it cooks pretty easily. It's not too hard to do. And I'd say that's probably one of my top 3 favorite fishes of all time is halibut.
I'll have to have my wife get it sometime, and I can try some of hers. If it's more expensive, I definitely don't want to buy it and then send it back.
Right.
Yeah. I have full faith.
Yeah, I'd say if to go in a different direction, have you tried frozen, like Walmart frozen aisle fish sticks?
As a kid, I like fish sticks, then I kind of lost the taste for it. So maybe if I tried it again.
I couldn't tell if you were being serious or not.
No, I'm completely joking, but I'm really glad that he just rolled a fish.
Well, I figured it'd be like it's not real fish, so it doesn't actually taste that bad type thing. I thought that's what you're going for.
No, I was just being a dumbass.
Hey, I'll take it. Well, Mike, what's your number 3? Or do you do you want to explain this to people?
Yeah, so I spent an inordinate amount of time this Saturday trying to come up with my list, and normally I'll add, if I'm like really prepping, I'll add like 5 to 7 items, and then I'll whittle it down to the right number. And instead of whittling down, I just kept thinking of more and more things, and so I ended up actually creating a menu, and I wrote all my descriptions out, and I made it look pretty. And so rather than me decide what my top 3 are, I'm going to have each of you look at the menu and order what you would like, and that will be the meal I talk about.
All right, Cody, since you're the guest of honor, we'll let you go first.
Of course, I'm bringing up the menu right now as we speak.
Can I get Cheese Whiz with the Philly cheese bites? Is that available addition?
That seems definitely doable. I was going to say, you guys, if you agree on a starter, I'll discuss a starter as a bonus point to buy time.
Oh no, I got it. I'll take the barbecue chicken cheddar brat.
Oh, see, that's such a I do love making that one. I've been making that one. I started making it when this is great. I get to tell a Rob story too. It became a tradition with some of our friends to go and do beach day, where we'd go to a little state park where it's more of a pond. It's definitely not a lake, but we'd call it the lake.
It's a North Dakotan lake, let me tell you.
Yeah, exactly. They'd have some charcoal, like the beach grills. And so we'd bring charcoal and I'd get a bunch of chicken breasts, and I'd slice it kind of across the grain, and just chuck a bunch of barbecue seasoning, and then I'd get some cheddar brats and just cook that up on the grill. And it is still absolutely one of my favorite meals. And there's something about chicken breast cook on charcoal that it dries out the outside, but it just locks in all that juice on the inside, and it is so good. And then just a Johnsonville cheddar brat, not fancy, but you grab that off the shelf and you can just throw it down, cook it up, get a nice little char on it. Absolutely fantastic. And I believe, what were the sides? Mac and cheese. I am a firm believer in Velveeta as one of your cheeses because it has sodium citrate all through it, which is an emulsifier, which helps the cheese and the cream, because I am lazy and I just do like a butter and heavy cream sauce. I don't do a true roux. And so I just mix those up. Cody's giving me a look. Tastes good, man. And it's quick and easy. And then I like smoked Gouda. I like a nice sharp cheddar, which is, I know, kind of ridiculous because it doesn't melt as well and the oils come out. But you got that Velveeta to make up for that. It breaks it. And then a mild cheddar because that's a good melting cheese. Pepper jack, and then the Velveeta. Mix all that up, and then you put some better than bouillon in with the chicken or the noodles while you boil it, and you mix that up and you bake it and top it with some more cheese. Absolutely delicious. And then what did I say? Oh, dude, grilled broccoli. Do you guys know the copper? I believe it's copper. The little mat that you can roll out on the grill so that you can put things on the grill that won't that are a little smaller and they won't fall through the grill grates. And you just throw some broccoli on there, let it cook till it gets a nice bit of char.
Oh, that was loud.
You also have grilled broccoli on your list, or you just hate that I'm doing this?
Oh. He's too scared to answer.
Lou letting us know that his mic doesn't work by objecting.
Sorry. Here I
You're
am.
muted, Lou. You're muted.
I'm muted. My bad, big dog. I was gonna go off menu and I was gonna pick that damn broccoli. And so you took my option, I guess. Is that the same thing as the objection?
Close enough. I mean, the broccoli is multiple different. It is a side with multiple different items.
Okay.
That's right, because I've cooked that broccoli for you before.
You did, and it was probably one of my favorite ways of eating broccoli.
Yeah, and then you get some char on it, and then you melt that cheese and let it get that nice little cheese crisp. Oh, and pairs super well with the barbecue, and delicious meal.
Do you mess with broccolini?
Broccolini.
I don't even know where to get broccolini, but
I don't know where to get it either.
Would if I could get my hands on some, I'd definitely mess with it.
Baby broccoli.
What the heck is broccolini?
Baby broccoli. It's like not fully grown broccoli.
Is it kind of like baby carrot?
Huh.
Not really. You can grow those certainly.
It's the veal of broccoli, I guess.
You can't grow a baby carrot, right? They're just shaped carrots.
Yeah, you can grow thumbelinas. They're like.
Oh, really?
I almost said something that I wasn't supposed to say because I got keep 17. It has a very unique plug shape. That is appealing on a plate. And, yeah.
I think the melted pepper jack is interesting. I feel like Parmesan's the go-to one I've always put on grilled broccoli.
Hey, goose to Chicos.
Whoa. But I'll have to try that sometime because I do love me some pepper jack.
Nice.
All right.
How about you, Lou?
Well, I mean, my pick? Is that?
I guess we're going.
What's your number 3? What's your stat?
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I have always been a big breakfast guy. And a tradition in my family is to do breakfast for dinner.
Classic.
That is something that I've always loved. And so I don't know if I couldn't technically pick one thing, but if I'm doing breakfast for dinner, it's usually kind of just like a handful of things that I always will have.
Yeah, you make a spread.
Yeah, and so I usually either do a French toast, which I've learned how to make good French toast, and not this cheap, weird French toast that some people do, and actually make a decent custard. Or a Dutch baby. My wife loves Dutch babies.
Okay.
And I think Dutch babies are best when you just see them as just like a vehicle to shove cream and some sort of fruit in your mouth. And yeah, so I'll do like a Dutch baby or French toast. I'll do a fruit compote, anything that's like in the freezer. If I have frozen cherries or frozen blueberries, I make a compote of that. And then a fresh
You're
whipped
getting
cream.
some deeply approving looks from Cody on this end.
Oh.
Just so
He
you're
might come over after this.
Oh boy, I mean, depending on what he wears under that shirt, boy, keep it.
Hey, wait a minute now.
And then I don't always do this, but a fresh whipped cream is beautiful. It's a little bit of sweetness, like a maple syrup and a little bit of vanilla. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
well,
sorry.
Lou actually also works in the culinary industry, if I remember correctly.
No, not really.
He teaches he teaches people how to cook professionally.
Sure. Don't put my business out there like that.
Well, Luke, can I give you a suggestion next time you make breakfast?
Yeah, go for it.
With your friend, do you like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
Yeah. Is it the Rock French toast? Sorry, I jumped the gun on that. I apologize.
Does he make that? No, I don't know. You just make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you submerge that in
Whoa.
Yeah.
What do you submerge it in?
Oh, you just make peanut butter and jelly French toast.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, and then you like submerge it. Also, another trick is that you dunk your bread. How long do you let it soak?
I let it. So my wife. So this is a marital dispute that we've had in the past. So
Okay.
I like mine to really get in the flavors so we can be nice and custardy. My wife likes dry ass French toast. Oh, I'm sorry, Robert.
No, you can say ass. You
I
just
can say ass.
you can't say ass and then what you dig on the ground. You know, that's not allowed. We're going by radio.
Ass pit?
Yeah,
Ass
you can't say ass pit. We're going by radio guidelines are very weird.
Well, then,
Ass.
Lucian, I would agree with you that you should when we do it at the restaurant, we soak it for at least 24 hours, and we use
Oh, jeez.
we'll
Yeah.
use really good thick bread, like cinnamon panini bread.
Yeah.
And it's like a brunch at a hotel, so they go out for sure.
I'm over here being like, 30 seconds is a long time. You come back with 24 hours.
Lou,
You don't let it sit for 24 hours. You dunk it and then you let it just kind of like.
Oh, you don't leave it in the.
No.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I thought you were like marinating your bread overnight.
Then you do that.
Okay.
You
Because you're gonna bake it for a long
Dust all
time.
up, throw it in a pot, or a baking dish. You make the mixture, you put it in there, you let it sit for 24 hours, and you make it.
That sounds pretty good too.
All right, number twos. Okay.
Yeah.
Objection.
Number
Yeah,
two.
why not?
Just looking for some feedback now. Yeah, it's been a long day now. So my number two, not in a recipe that I've made or that I came up with or anything, which I mean, granted, for most people haven't made their own recipes, but I really love Snoop Dogg's orange chicken. And you're like, Snoop Dogg can cook, and believe it or not, his cookbook,
He's got a cookbook, right?
his cookbook is pretty solid. Like I haven't
I think
had
he
it.
has multiple cookbooks, doesn't he?
I don't know. I think the first one, I think it's like It's All Good in the Hood or something like that. It's delicious. I don't think there's anything I've had from it that I've like disliked. Everything has been really good. But this is one that me and my wife make all the time. And basically I don't know how much, like, I don't know what the legality is of sharing recipes, but you just coat the chopped up chicken in cornstarch, and then you boil down your own sauce yourself. And then one thing we do is we put on where is it? We put on a bed of jasmine rice, and we throw in like baby corn, and then if we have it, we'll chop up some green onions and use that as a garnish. And man, I just love this meal. We actually made it not too long ago. I got a picture I was going to send you guys, but we'll see. But I mean, I love American Chinese, and it's delicious.
That sounds good.
It is good. Yeah, he has two cookbooks. One of them, I think it just says Snoop Dogg to cook, and then one is Goon on the Spoon.
Oh, it's the green one.
Which,
It's the green one.
which, I mean, there's different ways to describe what a goon is, but I don't think
I think he's going with the more classic goon. You know?
I think he is going the more classic goon.
Call him like a goonie.
Yeah, like the movie.
Yeah, like the movie.
Yeah, it's from
Guys.
Down here, it's our time.
From Crook to Cook. Yeah, that's the one I have. And this spaghetti is also fantastic. Would recommend.
I'll pick up this cookbook.
There you go.
I got a bunch of weird.
Yeah, when I first saw it on Amazon, I'm like, why the heck does Snoop Dogg have a cookbook? And then I was reading the reviews, and I was like, no, this is legit. Like, you should pick it up. So of course I did.
Yeah. Is it because he's tight with Martha Stewart now?
Yeah, it's right in the forewords. Like, me and Martha Stewart made these. So that's my number 2. So let's go with Cody. What's yours?
I would say my number 2 is the process of making anything. How about risotto?
Ooh.
Yeah.
What was that? Sorry, you cut out a little bit on my end.
Risotto.
Nice.
Super classic Italian. A lot of things you can do with it. Extremely versatile. The last thing that I did with it was for a wine dinner. And I topped it with some pimento oil, which is just like paprika that's been in oil, and it gives it a really smoky oil.
That sounds good.
Lemon zest, Parmesan cheese. And we got in white truffle, which was the first time I actually got to use it. I've used white truffle a lot. They're pretty expensive. And the white truffle, I think we got, I think, I forget how much we got, but he spent $2,000 on it.
Oh my gosh.
I think.
My goodness.
A quarter ounce? Not even. They're extremely expensive. You can't cultivate them. They came fresh from the ground from Italy. I got to shave those on there. I would say that. Risotto is one of those things where like every chef has their own way of making it, and then you go, "Oh, I know how to make risotto." They're like, "No, you don't."
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, I do. I just don't know how to make it the way. And I remember the way that I was taught was like the most wrong way you could possibly do. I didn't know that, and so I went to like a really nice restaurant, and they're like, "Can you make risotto?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got this." And the head chef, who had worked at a Michelin restaurant and was a little Italian dude, he was just like, "What in the are you doing? That didn't work." There you go. That didn't work. What in the are you doing? And I was like, "I don't making risotto." It's like, not that way or not. So then he actually sat down. He taught me how to make it correctly.
The right way is when you just like make rice and then throw some cheese and milk on it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly.
Maybe some chopped up mushroom.
I mean, there's the way that you cook normal rice where you just put water in a pot, you rinse the rice, you put water, you rinse all the starch off, right? Because that's the stuff that kind of makes it sticky. That's what you not want. You put some water in it, you put a lid on it, you cook it, then you turn it off, you steam it. That's rice.
You want risotto to be sticky.
Risotto,
right? Yeah.
you want that starch. So you don't rinse it, and then you kind of cook it very slowly. You add a little bit of water or stock, as Rob pointed out earlier, like more flavor. You add stock, chicken stock, veg stock, whatever it is, slowly at a time to kind of bring it back to where it needs to be.
Okay.
Super creamy, really good. So I would say my second pick would be risotto.
Damn it. I mean, I've never had a bad risotto, and I've had plenty of risottos that came like out of a pouch.
Yeah.
And like, it's so good.
Is it more like Lou should have said there's no such thing as bad risotto instead of bad pizza?
Hey, did you guys get that clip I sent you where I think Babish said that the other day? He was like, just like no bad sex, there's no bad pizza. I was like, that's a real take that's out there? I thought Lou, like...
No, anything that's good that came from me came from Babish.
You exposed him on the pod.
I'm exposed.
Bitching with Babish, yeah.
I'm a fake.
Oh. Does Cody have opinions about Babish?
No, I like him more than Guga.
I mean, that's fair. Guga's fun, but I don't know how much I trust the crap he's doing.
What about Joshua Wiseman? He's my YouTube chef.
He's got too big for his britches, I think, but
I
that's
also
just my
think
opinion.
He's been getting a lot of celebrity attention, but no, I think Joshua Wiseman is actually out of the not celebrity chef,
The YouTube guys,
Instagram, YouTube guys. I say he'd probably be one of the better ones.
Okay.
He actually worked in a kitchen. He actually knows what I have his cookbook.
Taste over texture. New York Times bestseller.
I loved how you said that. So good.
That's like for 2 years, as every single one of his ad reads was just himself, his own book.
Yeah, right.
All right, but Lou, you're up.
Oh, he gets the fisheye. Actually, I'm up, but it's Lou's turn to order.
I was gonna say, Lou, you're up at the Mike restaurant.
Oh, yikes.
It's looking at you.
I'm looking at it. Oh man, it's so hard to pick. I was gonna do the broccoli and be a little chump, but I'm gonna go for. Man, he already explained the mac and cheese too. I feel like you know what I'm very interested on your smash burger.
Oh, I love making
mine.
smash burger. I got to make smash burgers just the other day. I am, first of all, and this may be an opinion. I don't know. Sesame seed bun, superior to all the other burger buns. I love a sesame seed bun.
Brioche.
Yeah,
Brioche is good. I prefer sesame. And honestly, it's an thing. I just like the way it looks. Brioche is great. Personally, I do sesame seed. A little toasted. Comes with top sauce, which is proprietary. But in this case, it would just be a burger sauce. So, top sauce is a catch-all for when I don't feel like explaining the name of the sauce in the, in the menu. But yeah, so basically I do quarter-pound balls. Lightly, you mix them enough that you get the protein to stick, but you don't overdo it. Take it out. I don't actually have the little smash thing. So you put it on the flat top, and then you just get some parchment paper and a big cast iron, and I just press that sucker down. Salt and pepper and garlic powder. I call it my proprietary spice blend. It's equal parts salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And I started using it to save time because I seasoned so many things, and I was like, I'm done. And I just mix them up every time I'm out. It might not be the ideal blend, but it's close enough, man. Close enough for home cooking, at least. American cheese from the deli, because American cheese just. So once it's smashed, you flip them quick because they're going to shrink up. Then you hit them with the cheese, top it off, throw it on your toasted bun with the sauce, raw onion diced. And then some more sauce on top, shredded onion on top, sticking it to the sauce. There you go. And then thin cut. I'm a thin cut fries guy, so I basically just slice up slices of potato real thin. I don't have a deep fry at home. It's a total pain, so you got to boil oil and toss it in there. So my fries aren't great because I just don't have access to the materials. But I needed a side for the burger. When I make them at home, honestly, I don't even make a side. I just have a burger. So,
what percentage fat?
Ooh,
it's 80-20. Whatever the highest one I can get, but I usually do 80-20.
Okay, that's good.
Now, is smash burger your favorite kind of burger?
Oh, absolutely. I've been compiling my top 5 burger lists for a long time, and the top ones are all smash burgers.
Yeah.
I
recently tried to make Oklahoma burgers.
Those look so good. I love
onion at the bottom.
Oh,
Turn out
yeah, you do a really thin slice, so the onion almost melts into the beef.
Delicious.
I love caramelized.
Caramelized onions are really good.
But not Coney.
Real caramelized onion.
The onion's broken down.
Yeah.
It's brown goo that tastes amazing on a burger.
Now, I will say, as much as I love smash burgers, Black Label Tavern in, I believe it's Livonia, technically. Yeah. Their build your own burger. I just do a fried egg, some onion, and beer cheese and bacon. Oh man, crazy good. I think caramelized onion would be better on it though than the raw onion. So I'll see if that's an option. Yeah, especially because you get the yolk and the beer cheese kind of spills out, and then you get the beer battered fries, and you scoop that stuff up, and yeah, right. I knew that was gonna happen with this episode.
I don't think I've had a decent smash burger. I need to make sometime, but
I'll definitely make one for you. I love making them for people. Carly, for her wedding, her real wedding, her legal wedding, not the ceremony. I literally she was like, "Hey, will you cook burgers?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just need this much beef." And I showed up and just made a bunch of balls and yeah.
So question. Why American over cheddar? Is it just preference?
It melts different.
Okay. It melts different, yeah.
It just perfectly wraps around. Cheddar is a more aged cheese, obviously, because Americans like made yesterday in the lab somewhere.
Mm-hmm. It's not actually
and
cheese.
the longer your cheese is aged, it's good. You're probably right. I don't know.
It's not 50% dairy because Becca and I had this conversation last week.
That's fair.
She's like, it's not real cheese.
Like, cheddar just doesn't melt the same way that American. I love the way American cheese melts, and I love the way it feels in my mouth. Actually, the argument.
Yeah, so we've been on cheddar so long that someone made a burger for me and I had American. I'm just like, damn, that's a good like burger. Like I forgot because I'm just so used to using cheddar. So I was just wondering.
It melts different. It's a texture over taste thing, but
we use aged white cheddar at the job on our breakfast sandwiches. And when I started on banquets, when I became sous chef, I was like, I want to switch this to American.
Yeah.
You know, everyone wants American cheese on their breakfast sandwich.
Right.
They're like, no, this is high end. We need to do white cheddar. I'm just like, people don't want white cheddar. They want American cheese.
Right. I love white. I have literally. You ever have the seriously sharp cheddar? I'll just grab. Hold on. Fill time, guys. Talk for me.
So, were you able to swap out the white cheddar for American, or they're just being sticks in the mud? I guess we'll never know. So, Lou, why'd you go? Lou, why'd you go with the smash burger?
Oh, I love I love simple things. I think sometimes things can be a little bit too difficult, and sometimes.
You guys ever see? Are we? Oh, okay, we're here. Yeah. Do you guys ever see the menu?
People in restaurants, like, we use smash burgers on our menu because they're easier to cook, they're faster to cook.
Yep.
And the temps don't get them.
Yeah, you can't screw up temp.
When you got an actual burger, and then people actually have to know how to.
Yeah.
You got a smash burger.
Well, and they stay juicy even though they're well done, which is great because you get that nice crispy coating on the outside. Yeah, I got this white cheddar, or somebody brought it in. Somebody got like a care package at work, and they were like, "Yeah, I'll just like," they opened it up and just like let the whole department like share it. And it's this bar of seriously sharp white cheddar, and it was like the best cheese I'd ever had in my life. And I mentioned it to my mom, and they have that at Aldi sometimes, but it snapped up real quick. And I was like, you text me the next time you're there and they have it. And she texted me and she was like, they have like boxes of it. They just came in. How many do you want? And I was like, 11. And so I got 11 bars of this cheddar because it's like, it's hard to get, like it gets snapped up quick. And I was like, get a lot. And then I meant for that 11th bar to be a gift for my mom because like I paid her back. But okay, that 11th bar, that's for you.
Like a true drug deal.
Exactly. And she was like, already got myself some too. And I was like, oh, well, all right.
Well, here's another.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, the best part, when I picked it up at work, I dropped it. I was like, yeah! And they're like, what's wrong? I was like, that's some seriously sharp cheddar.
Ha ha ha. He's a dad. Lou, what's your number 3? Let's move on from that. Or what's your number 2, Lou?
My number 2 is also a salmon meal. I really don't know the name of it. I got it off of the idea of having it. It was really popular back in the day to do like a Japanese sushi bake, which pretty much is like sushi but baked. I don't know how to explain this. This is hard hitting.
Not journalism, surely.
Journalism. I was gonna say journalism, but I don't know. But what I like to do is I like to bake my salmon. Very simple marinade, soy sauce, mirin, sake. Just like a simple thing that I think most Japanese people will eat. Because fish is pretty popular breakfast food with a little bit of miso on the side. So I'll make something simple like that. But then I'll have like kind of the condiments surrounding it. So I'll have like a nori is kind of like what you do to like wrap it. Just like how you would wrap like sushi. And then I'll make sushi rice. And then I usually will do I love a roasted corn with crispy salmon skin. That is like really, really delicious. And then I'll have chili oil. I think it's like Yaogama chili oil, which is the best chili oil in my opinion. Kewpie mayo, which is a superior mayo.
Yes, it is.
And then I'll do some type of like Japanese barbecue sauce. And that's like probably one of my favorite things to make for my friends who like seafood. I say it's like you can make your perfect bite. If you want something spicy, you can do the sriracha. It has everything that you would want in sushi, in my opinion. And that's probably one of my favorite things to make.
That sounds really good. It's all about the sides and toppings.
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly,
Create your perfect
almost
bite.
sounds really good.
I like sushi from Kroger.
I do as well.
I do as well.
I do not.
Sometimes I love that sweet. I usually get one sweet little treat, and sometimes it is the sushi.
Have you ever had a Michigan roll?
No, I have not had a Michigan roll. Is it made from like Fago flavored rice?
No,
That's how you get me to have a sushi.
You'd be surprised how many of those chefs like to mess with Fago on pasta. Right? No, Michigan roll is it's like a sushi roll with the seafood over on top of it, and then it's got rice, raw tuna, and cream cheese. And the tuna cream cheese combo is like amazing.
Yeah, I hate canned tuna, but I love fresh tuna. Like I'll eat fresh tuna. I cannot eat canned tuna though.
Yeah, canned tuna's not great.
Some people love it.
My wife and my father-in-law.
I don't know that your father-in-law loves it so much.
He loves the price.
He loves the price to protein ratios. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring around to our number ones. And I'm kind of glad that no one chose this, so it gave me the first person to be able to talk about this. But man, this is like my go-to birthday meal. It's a reverse seared steak with corn casserole and real loaded mashed potatoes. Now, my wife told me I probably don't have to specify real when it comes to mashed potatoes, but I grew up on boxed mashed potatoes. So
absolutely have to specify.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, I grew up on boxed mashed potatoes, and I still have I have a love for it, but obviously nothing beats real mashed potatoes. But
I know people who, there's some people who love that, like the boxed mashed potato is the thing they love, and I like a boxed mashed potato, but they're different.
Bob Evans sour cream chive, dude. That is
Bob Evans,
right. I don't need it to be real. That being said, I love making real mashed potatoes too. There's something about it.
Do you boil or bake mashed potatoes?
So we boil it, and make sure you cut up the mashed potatoes first before trying to boil it, because we made that mistake once before, and that did not cook very well.
Potatoes?
Yeah, it did not work very well.
That's fair.
We didn't make that mistake again.
That's all mushy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next time you make your potatoes, once you dice them up, the same thing you just did, you put them in water, boil them in water. Right before they're done, strain them, put them on a sheet tray, and pop them in the oven at like 200 degrees for like a half hour.
Interesting.
Basically, what you're trying to do is get all the moisture out, so you have like a smoother and cleaner emulsification, or like a mixture with your butter and.
Oh, that's I like that. What do you use to mash? Sorry, we will get to your steak, but I love
potato masher.
Okay.
They invented someone from it.
The potato ricer. Game changer, man.
We use ricer. We use like an industrial size one.
Oh, that'd be really nice.
If you have a kitchen, it makes sense. That'd be a lot of potatoes to go by hand.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Have you ever heard of Robuchon potatoes?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
What is that?
Robuchon potatoes. There's this guy named Joe Robuchon. He passed away. Actually, I don't know how.
He's got a podcast, right?
No, he
just interviewed Trump.
Haha, and Elon Musk.
I don't think that joke.
I thought for sure he was about to say Joe Rogan. How is this applicable? And then
I made the connection to Joe Rogan too, so maybe it's just our kind of messed up.
Did you really?
Look, my brain's. You say Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
It's just.
So Joe Robuchon, he made these French dude. He made these potatoes, and basically it's almost equal parts butter and potato. And so when you do it, you don't just like heat up your butter and heat up your together, right? That's how you make normal potatoes. You emulsify, meaning you incorporate the butter into the potato, so you get this extremely creamy, extremely velvet, probably the best potato you've ever had in your life.
I have seen those on the internet.
And then when the last one I did top fat.
Ooh.
Which was kind of ridiculous. But anyway, back to your reverse sear steak. What kind of steak you talking about here?
Yeah. So first, if you're grilling, whenever you're making steak, you got to make sure you salt it at least an hour beforehand. The better, the longer you can usually go up to overnight. But the better you have, it's called dry brining a steak, and it just makes it juice more, keeps the juices in and makes it more flavorful for each taste. And it also gives it a nice brown, is it mallard? Is that how you say it, pronounce it? I don't know.
The Maillard reaction?
Yeah.
Maillard.
That's what it is.
Maillard is duck.
Yeah, it's a duck. I also love duck too, so I think that. So I usually do salt, and then I kind of do Mike's spice blend where it's salt, pepper, garlic powder, and I like minced onions on it. So onions is a weird texture for me, but I like the mince. And then if you guys don't know what reverse searing is, it's you keep it on low temp. I usually do 45 minutes. So it's usually about like, I think 150, 175. You just let it do that. And as soon as you get to the temp, about, I think it's 10 degrees from where you want it, you take it out, and then you can either crank up the grill heat or get a nice cast iron, put it with butter or whatever, if you want to, also braise it that way. And then you just sear both sides. And man, it is so good, and I just absolutely love it. It's my go-to cook steak. And if I'm picking a cut, I'm gonna go ribeye. I just love the fattiness of it. And I used to go T-bone, or not. I did do T-bone, but like a tomahawk steak. But I'm like, you're paying for some of that bone, so I just feel like you get more for ribeye.
Yeah, tomahawk steaks. That's how you get young, excitable gentlemen to spend way more money.
Yeah, it seems overhyped.
Young, excitable gentleman. Oh my god.
They want to look cool. It looks cool, but I think ribeye is the way to go.
I just didn't know you could put those words together and talking about steak.
When you got a bone-in steak, right? Or a bone-in any. So as much as they have like the tomahawk part.
Yeah, that bone, the part that's just.
You guys got that Walmart Wi-Fi going again there, Mike?
Always, baby.
All right. There you go. And then, so we already talked about mashed potatoes. For loaded, I just put, cheese and bacon. Obviously, you have sour cream and you add the milk there. And then corn casserole, it's my wife's family recipe. Just cream corn, regular corn, Jiffy corn mix, butter, sour cream, and cheese together. And if you want to get crazy, you can add some grilled broccoli with cheese. But we already talked about that, so I'm not going to go into it. So that is my number one favorite meal to cook. And I do all mine on a wood pellet grill. My go-to is... gosh, why am I drawing blank?
Charcoal?
Hickory, apple.
Hickory is my go-to.
Yeah, that's my favorite flavor for smoke too.
It's
so
just
good.
nice, easy. It works well with really anything. So it's a very nice universal wood to use for smoking your meat or grilling them. No, I don't use charcoal on my wood pellet grill, Lou. Sorry. I'll try it next time though for you.
Yeah, Lou, what a stupid thing to say.
Wait,
is it Mike?
No, I didn't. Yeah, it was me.
Sorry, Lou. Catching strays. My bad.
It wouldn't be an episode of the podcast over the last month taking an shot at Lou. You just served it up. Like, hey, there's someone.
There you go.
I mean, you guys are just young, excitable men. I mean, what can boys will be boys. And that's
hey, whoa, you can't say that.
Should we put on a t-shirt, just young, excitable men?
Huh?
I just want to say something. Basically. I haven't seen you in like, I don't know, 12 years though. Are you still a big boy like me?
I am a big boy, yeah. Wow, I feel like I'm on a dating. I feel like this is like a dating situation.
You guys both swiped right after, you went to high school together, swiped right, and you're like, oh, hey.
Oh, hey, I saw a picture of you. Are you still a big boy? Yeah.
All right, Cody, why don't you hit us with your number one?
My number one. God, I hate this. I guess we have another wine dinner here in about 3 weeks. Yeah, busy month. It's gonna be nuts. But I'm actually doing a repeat dish, which I don't normally do. It's something that I did at a country club I worked at. It's changed up a little bit, so I'm going to use venison. I'm going to do venison tenderloin with a persillade. Persillade is a French technique of taking like breadcrumbs and toasting them off with a little butter, and then you incorporate a bunch of like freshly chopped herbs like chive and parsley. And when you do it correctly, you kind of cheat. You could put it in a Robo Coupe. Robo Coupe is just like a industrial, like, not a blender, but like, I don't know how to explain Robo Coupe.
I don't know.
Right? Think of like a food. It's a food processor.
Oh, okay,
That's what
sure,
it is,
yeah.
food processor. If you do it right, it turns the breadcrumbs green. So then what you do is you can brush the outside, like I'll sear it off. You brush the outside of the venison with mustard, usually preferably El Dijon.
Okay.
And then you roll it in.
Oh, so you use it like a binder.
Kind of like yeah. You use the mustard as a binder and you roll it in it. And so you have like this beautiful steak that's rolled in this bright green mixture. And then that gets served with an orange carrot puree, a sauce Robert. Sauce Robert is a derivative of a demi, which is like a French sauce with potato pave and seared king mushroom. And basically, the dish represents a classic French peasant dish. So all it's like a classic French stew. So all the ingredients that would go into that stew are on the plate, but just kind of displayed different.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's like my take on it. I've done that before. I'll take like chowder and I'll make it to like I actually make that into a dish.
Okay.
Like an actual plate.
So you make like the seafood is like the main.
Yeah, and then you can put sauce and the potatoes and bacon and whatever. All that kind of stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah. That would probably be honestly one of my favorite things I've cooked so far in my life. Not that I'm doing it again.
It would mess with my head to have a green steak.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not green. It's like when you can like the way that we cut it, you can cut it open so you see that beautiful inside.
You see the red still, yeah.
Beautiful red on the inside, and then everything on the outside, the brown you normally see is like bright, vibrant green.
Yeah, that's what would mess with my head. I mean, I'd still eat it. That sounds, I'd be super intrigued.
Yeah.
But like.
I'm excited to get to do it again. But I have to say, Lucian, I am like, knowledge that you're dropping, also you, Rob. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you. Yeah, take that, Mike.
I feel like I'm in a class. I feel like I was in a class.
Whenever Cody gets going, I'm just like,
yeah. So you know how like people can talk about cars and shit like that, where like it's like, oh right. You're not like when people talk about cars and you can just sit there like, I am.
Right.
Yeah. I can do that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Back in the day when Kyle had when Hot Kyle 4 Horsemen podcast, he asked his buddy Will directly. He was like, "Why do you like cars so much?" And all he did was to proceed to explain to Kyle what car he had. And we were all just like,
yeah, with the twin turbine and the BMW.
Yeah, we were just like, that's not an answer, dude. He was like, he just
is.
He knew what I just said. Yeah, really, but we don't.
Yeah, and also comment down below what's one thing you guys really like that you can just go off for hours about.
Oh, and then do.
Yeah.
Whoever has the most paragraphs wins 20 top topper point.
Of actual useful paragraphs. I don't want just someone to insert a fanfic in there.
Yeah.
I've seen your fanfics of us three. Stop it. It's not cool. You know who you are.
Who's putting?
I'm not
the cheat codes.
I'm not going to give them the dignity of naming them on this pod.
What is it called when you make somebody a relationship with somebody?
Shipping.
I forgot what.
Shipping.
Yeah. Just like shipping us.
Shipping when you like when you're like, I want these two characters together. It's called shipping on the internet. I don't know why it's called shipping.
Well, it's relationshipping. So you just cut off.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Kids nowadays don't say the full words.
Exactly. Lazy youth.
Yeah. All right, so I'm up at the Mike restaurant. What's your restaurant's name, by the way?
It's Joe's Fancy Restaurant.
Oh. All right. Well, Mike, can I get a starter of the Philly cheesesteak bites? But can you also include some cheese whiz on there? I don't want to piss off the native Philliers.
Yeah.
And then I'll take the grilled pork chop parmesan, please.
Dude, I'm so glad you picked that one. So to reference your father-in-law once again, he's made this snack at so many football games we've watched together. He calls it tuna crackers. It's Ritz crackers, canned tuna, mayo, top it with a quarter slice of American cheese. You make a ton of those. You bake them. It's like a little mini tuna melt bite. It's not bad. it's a poor person snack.
That sounds fishy.
It is fishy. It doesn't always turn out great.
My wife loves them, by the way.
But at some point, I was like, you know what? I'm really into making Philly cheesesteaks. And the Super Bowl, KC versus Philly, was coming up. And so I sliced up my ribeye, got it real thin. It wasn't actual ribeye. It was like some frozen
skirt
Philly
steak.
cheesesteak. Yeah.
Skirt steak's a good, cheaper substitute.
And, then I sauteed my onions and my peppers, mixed it all up, slapped some American cheese on there, right? Let it all melt together.
That's
stirred
a
it up.
Jersey cheesesteak, Mike. Come on.
I'm sorry. I'll change the name. I didn't realize that's a Jersey cheesesteak.
Well, on the menu it says provolone, which is Philly. So.
Well, I'll get to provolone.
All right, sorry, my bad. I'll back up.
I used the American cheese because it's real melty. Mix that all up. Hit it with some mayo. If I had Chipotle mayo, I would have used Chipotle mayo because my favorite thing on the planet is Jersey Mike's Chipotle cheesesteak. And then I put it in the fridge in like a big metal bowl. Let it kind of cool off and solidify. And then I used a scooper. And I just took little scoops, put them on my Ritz cracker. Although I think we said water crackers in the menu because that's a fancier cracker, and this is Joe's fancy restaurant. And then you top it with a quarter slice of provolone cheese. Make all of them. And then you make that, and it's so the cheese is like nice and melty and a little browned on top. And it's like a little Philly cheesesteak, just in a bite form.
Mm-hmm.
And they make an awesome Super Bowl or football, snack. And the grilled pork chop parmesan, I have just been craving chicken parm lately. But I've been trying to go lower carb, and so breaded chicken, not great for that. And so one day I was like, oh, I can just grill my chicken. I'll throw on some oil as a binder and then season it, and then also roll it in some Parmesan, get some, Parmesan chicken, and then cook it in my red sauce and top it with mozzarella, and bada bing, bada boom. It'll be close enough. And it was really good. And then one day, the Kroger up the street from us always has crazy good deals on these 2-packs of it's basically like a bone-in ribeye for a pork. And so I grilled that up, and I was like, what should I have this with? And I've seen him make these the Parmesan crusted pork chops before. So I was like, oh, actually. So I did that. And so it's just a grilled bone-in pork chop topped with a homemade red sauce. And then you put shredded mozzarella over the whole thing, and then you bake that until everything's good and melty. And it's really good. It's like a chicken parm, but it's pork, and it's low carb, no carb, really. And absolutely delicious. And then I probably did a side of green beans with that, right?
That is correct.
That side
with garlic garlic butter steamed.
Yeah. So there's this restaurant in Allen called Moro's, and the first time I ever went there, I don't remember what I got, but I remember having the green beans and being like, these green beans are better than most main dishes I've ever had. Just the garlic and the butter flavor was so infused. And the only way I've been able to replicate that is I have a green bean steamer, which is basically a little insert that fits into a pot. And so I do half water. I do a little bit of water and then a bunch of minced garlic and half a stick of butter. And I let that all start to melt. And then I insert the pot, and then I throw my green beans on there, and so it's steaming it, but it's also steaming it with melted butter and garlic. And then once it's cooked up, you take it out, you run the water, the melted butter and garlic mixture through a strainer so you pull out all that garlic, and then you basically just have this pseudo butter mixture. You toss your green beans in that one more time, drain it out, and I think you've had it before. We had it at that Friendsgiving one year.
That was good.
And it's not quite as good as Moro's, but for what I can throw together at home, it's close enough. And it's a recipe my grandma's been pursuing for years. She just needs to get that insert.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Those are the two vegetables I make: are grilled broccoli and steamed green beans.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no salads on your menu.
Nope. I'm a big salad guy.
Amen, brother.
How about meat salad?
Yeah, that'd be good. Like a shredded chicken, and then you top that with more meat. Yeah, some bacon bits on top and some cheese.
It's just the meat mountain from Arby's without the bun.
Yeah.
I've done pork, wrapped in pork stuff. That was pretty good.
Ooh. Nobody. I'll probably bust it out as a non, but I do a smoked chicken thing that's really good and wrapped in some other meats.
Yeah. Just want to say a shout out to the Philly cheesesteak. That's one of my honorable mentions. I love making it, and the whole reason I'm bringing up the cheese whiz is because a lot of people, I guess in Philly, it's a debate between cheese whiz and provolone. I say porque no los dos, and it's delicious. So
Fair
Why
enough.
not both? Is that what it is? Why not both?
that is.
Oh, wait.
That's what porque no los dos means. Why not both?
Why not both?
Or why not the two, technically, as a fluent Spanish speaker?
You're fluent Spanish? Are you?
Lo siento, no rasco coche y también solo un mochilo dos papas fritas.
No español.
No hablo español, please.
No. All right, we'll talk about pot on that one.
Mike's just been to Mexico,
No,
so we just.
that means I'm sorry I do not scratch my car and also the sun one backpack two French fries.
I heard that Papa's Fritos part.
Yeah, but it's really fun to bust out in front of people who don't speak Spanish and like the Mexican guys that were cooking at the line in Chile, because all the white dudes would be like, "Whoa," and like all the cooks would be like, "What the heck is going? Like what in the?" And then like I just give them a little wink, and then oh, okay, he's messing with the. And yeah, that was my go-to all the time. And yeah, now I claim to be fluent in Spanish, and then I use that and people accept it.
Okay. All right, Lou, why don't you bring us on home?
All right. So, little history. I used to hate baked poultry, especially baked turkey. I thought all baked turkey was just dry, because all my life, all I've had was dry blank turkey. Sorry, I don't have the button. But
Are you looking for that? I feel surrounded by all these white people drop, because I've been looking for. There were multiple times where I was like, that's not on the bar anymore.
yeah, and my mother, God rest her soul, did not cook out of love, cooked out of necessity. As I look back, she just needed to feed people, and I respect that. But if I had one more turkey out of a damn bag in a slow cooker, I was gonna lose my mind. And so when I started learning how to cook, I learned this method called spatchcocking. And
Can you say that? Is that loud?
Spatch penising, is that better?
Thank you.
Okay.
No, stack
And completely changed the game for me. And it is one of my favorite things all time to cook. I love cooking spatchcock chicken or spatchcock turkey for people. I love making a compound butter and just literally shoving butter into this poultry as much as I can, like a Japanese blank.
What now?
And make. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. It's like you're saying the N-word for me. It's really. Yeah, and surrounding the turkey with like carrots and onions, and then baking that off, and at the bottom of the turkey you get this like beautiful sauce that you can make into a gravy. It is just, I don't know, it is just a perfect bite. It's juicy. The best compliment I ever got for my cooking was one of my friends was like, I almost thought you undercooked the chicken because of how juicy it is. And,
that is a good compliment.
And his wife just like was like, damn, I could see in her face was like, damn, I make dry turkey.
Ruined that marriage. They're actually not together anymore.
Have you ever grind your chicken?
I always want to brine my chicken, and I never do the step, but I always wanted to. I always wanted to do like a soak, and then maybe like a citrus, like a lemon or
you gotta be careful with too much citrus, because too much citrus you'll end up with chicken.
Oh, that orange chicken.
Yeah. Orange chicken. Grinding is a great technique. I definitely normally aim for a 7% brine, maybe 7% salinity in whatever you're making. And you can flavor it with whatever. It's best to go like the heavier your brine is. So say you go like 15%, you can only brine chicken for 3 hours and then pull it. Or if you do like a lower brine, you can let it go for like 24 hours. After you brine your chicken or your turkey, I would recommend letting it sit out like in your fridge, unwrapped for another 24 hours. Yeah. Basically, what that does is it dries it out and it forms a over the skin, which it gets the really crispy skin.
Yeah, sounds delicious. Have you ever salt?
What do you do, bro?
What do? I do a bunch of things. I'm here or there, baby.
He can do whatever you want him to do.
I can do whatever I want.
I'm pretty sure he fights infectious diseases.
Yeah.
Last time we spoke.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like STIs and stuff like that. But have you ever salt baked something before? I always wanted to do it, but I've always been afraid.
That looks cool.
I have. We actually have a salt baked cod. We don't actually salt bake it. We coat it heavily for like 10 minutes and it off. And we call it salt bake.
Yeah.
So you're talking about taking like water and like not malt, but like rock salt and forming an outer shell.
Yeah, and then you smoke it.
You can smoke it. You can put it in the oven. You can do it. Okay. I've done it once. It's okay. It's more for show.
Yeah. Is it for show?
Seems a little wasteful.
Well, it's for show, but it is also it's big. So like in that sense, it's not. In that sense, it's like no, it's just extra cooked a long time ago.
I got to imagine your use per pound of salt ratio is not super high though. Efficiency of your supplies.
Yeah.
You know, like you're using a lot that you could probably use. I mean, salt's cheap, but still. I'm surprised Moneyman Rob hasn't chimed in on that. Spend an extra 12 cents per.
Hey, all I'm saying is don't use flake salt for everything. It's not proper. A lot of people try to. Yeah, a lot of people use
the finishing salt.
Yeah, no, kosher. Usually I go kosher.
Yeah, that's
kosher is my top. That's my salt that I use.
Yeah.
But TikTok has everyone thinking they should just put flaky salt on their stuff. It's like, no, kosher is your best all around salt.
Yeah.
But anyways, rapid fire. Do you got any, Mike? I'm gonna say you can't go through your whole menu. We'll post a picture of it up on the video feed.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But any honorable mentions? I had the Philly cheesesteak. I love really any meat reverse searing, like lamb, especially.
Yeah.
We make a really good pork chili, beanless pork chili in the slow cooker.
Oh, nice.
Delicious. I like, if I'm trying to get everything out of my fridge, I love to do like a stir fry. I like to, when I had a wok, it's rusted out. But when I had a wok, I used to take the top of the stove off. And if you take the top of the, the part where the flames come out?
The burner?
If you take that off the burner and you light it on fire, you can just get like blasting heat from well, that's why I would like, that's the proper way to use a wok. Right? And
that's why I say a Panda.
I never blew myself up, so, but yeah, I love a good stir fry.
Obviously, I can't talk food without talking. I personally, now that I don't have to walk down a flight of stairs and around an apartment and then like half a field to get to my grill, I just grill every chance I get, and I'm all about just grilling steak. And then, I mean, if you don't have probes, stop grilling, do something else. But like, get some like a decent meat thermometer. So you're able to keep like at least like even if it's not like one of the setups where you get the radio waves in so you can scan it from keep an eye on the grill from inside, which is what I have now. I have a 2-probe system. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
Made steak tonight. It was so good. It was perfect. I like to just grill it for 2 minutes on each side on high heat and then put it up on the top rack and indirect heat and just let it finish. But whenever I'm cooking steak for a lot of people, sous vide it, and then you hit it with a flamethrower afterward. You get to hit, you get that wow factor. You get to give everybody a bit of a show. Sous vide and flamethrower is awesome for a big group and kind of, everybody gets something extra than just the meal.
It's like your Opa.
Exactly. Sakanaki's so freaking good.
Love it. It's too expensive, though. I will money man rob that one.
For what it is, it's a bit much. Also, pizza rolls. Love cooking pizza rolls. Nice, easy.
Yep, just take them out of the bag and throw them in the oven or air fryer.
Boom. Or the air fryer.
How about you, Cody? Got any honorable mentions?
I do actually. That little pizza roll that kind of threw me into a spot. I love making my own ramen at the house, so I'll just take like cheap, crappy ramen, right, that we all have or whatever it is, and I'll just kind of I'll do bacon or I'll do egg in there, I'll do scallions, I'll do fish cakes, I'll do whatever, and you can make a pretty good meal for like $5, and that is like filling, and you feel like you're in an anime.
I like it.
That's probably one of my guilty pleasures. That's what I've been doing the last couple months. I got time. I'm making some ramen.
I thought you were about to talk about like boiling pork bone and chicken feet. I was like, this guy.
Hey, hey, Lou.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh no.
It was Lou.
Chicken.
I did not.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You were doing so
10
good,
last
Lou.
year. 10 last year.
We do get chicken feet in the restaurant. Chicken feet are an excellent source of gelatin for stocks. So when we make, like, say, chicken stock, we'll get a bunch of chicken bones in, and then we'll also get a cake of chicken feet, Chinese chicken feet, Chinese writing on it, and I can walk around the kitchen scaring people with feet. But
Classic.
it is an excellent source of stock.
Do you clip their nails?
No, you don't have to.
You don't have to. I'm always afraid that somebody's gonna end up with a chicken feet nail.
Well, it's put down and get strained, and if it gets made into jus, it gets stripped down.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I believe, Mike, you're next up. What are we talking about next week?
Oh, geez. I'm going to buy myself some time because I have no idea.
All right, Cody,
But,
you got anything you want to... We'd like to thank you for joining us. Do you have anything you want to shout out or anything, any place people can find you?
Yeah, right now I'm at the Daxton. Thanksgiving, I usually don't plug, but we got Thanksgiving coming up. That's we've got like a big grand buffet. Tickets are on sale right now. You can go on Instagram, the Daxton, link bio, and you can go there. Do you guys have any questions for me? Any last minute thinking about food wise or anything else, Lou?
I got one. Do you remember? I meant to fit this into the intro. Do you remember the restaurant idea you pitched to me?
For sure, we talked about this on the pod.
No.
This man said to me, "I have a great idea for a restaurant."
Was it sober?
I don't remember. Me and Cody go way back. I'll just leave it at that. Or at least I am. I don't know. But he goes, I got this great idea for a restaurant. It'd be a restaurant where you just only serve really good food.
Make millions.
Make millions.
All right. Next week, I want to know the top 3 video games, and maybe we'll bring in a guest for this. Or so the top. We'll come up with a guest. I want to know the top 3 video games that we want each of the other people to play, right? So I want Lou, I want your number 1 game you wish I would play, your number 1 game you wish Rob would play, and your number 1 game you wish our guest would play.
Gosh, we're gonna have to get a guest that knows us all. It's gonna be tough.
It is gonna be tough.
I'll ask Andrew.
I don't know Andrew well enough to do that. No.
Fair enough. We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Probably something therapeutic for Andrew.
What's the opposite of Madden? All right. Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Top Podcast. If you enjoyed it and you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what your favorite things to cook are. And just if you have any topics or icebreaker questions, we'd love to hear them out and maybe get some topper points for giving us some recommendations. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review and leave a comment down below and we'll read it off on the pod. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great time. We'll catch you next week. Peace out.
I'm so sorry, Luce dropped an F-bomb, guys. That was
How could you, Luke?
unacceptable.
I know. I mean, I usually don't claim. Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. My mom raised me better than that.